Bienvenue, Magic players! They're announcing a bunch of ban lists tomorrow. I don't agree with how they're doing it because they're doing it once a year now, but you know what? That's what they're doing, so we're here to talk about it. Isn't that right, Comrade
Hey,
Sneak?
absolutely. WotC loves bad decisions, and you know what? We're the player base who agrees with these bad decisions, even if we disagree.
Exactly. So, the most played cards in Modern are Chalice, Bolt, Engineer Explosives. Those don't really, what is the word? They're sideboard cards, but also Lightning Bolt is... Yeah, no, they don't push. They don't push the format in a certain direction. But then we get the Fury, the One Ring, Endurance, Ragavan, Bowmasters. The 5 cards everyone wants banned are the Evoke Elementals.
Look, the Evoke Elementals are ubiquitous at this point with Modern, because of how hard they were pushed from Modern Horizons 2 to now.
Yeah.
And it's clear that this is what WotC wants.
Yep. And they've been in essentially combining themselves into a single deck ever since the Yorion Money Pile days.
God, I hated those days. Playing Modern was so awful.
And at this point, I don't think they're going away, but if they were to go away, it'd be good for the format. It'd be great for the format, honestly, if we got all 5 of them removed. At the very
least... It would disrupt so many decks, and it would also...
I don't think it would disrupt that many decks. 4-color Elementals and Rakdos Scam, it would. But every other deck, there are plenty of different things that do the same things that these Elementals do, just not for free.
Well, here's the thing. Even looking at the 5-color Elementals deck right now, that deck only mainboard like a few of them. And I mean 4 for Solitude, but their sideboard has the rest. Now, if they were suddenly gone, yeah, that deck's going to have to take a different direction, and it might not even come back up again. But every other deck, including the Rakdos Scam list, will adapt. It'll just make things a little bit slower, because being able to just evoke these things out to get the results you want for essentially free is very powerful.
Yeah.
But I doubt they'll do it.
Yep. And to show you how bad these Elementals have kind of gotten at this point, burn decks have gotten rid of Eidolon of the Great Revel to instead run 4 copies of Roiling Vortex in their main board.
Nature is healing.
I wouldn't call that healing, I'd call that a violent evolution.
It's an adaptation.
Oh my god. Rakdos Evoke. Now, Grief and Fury, the main stars of the deck, it's called Rakdos Evoke. Everyone called it Rakdos Scam, but then at Pro Tour Lord of the Rings, they listed it as Rakdos Evoke, and Jake Beardsley right here, this is his deck, won the whole tournament, obviously. And this is essentially what Rakdos Scam is going to look like for the foreseeable future, and you can see why. It covers all your bases in the main board, gets rid of tiny creature decks, strips your opponent's hand of their combo pieces or just anything that will hinder you, Dolphy Voidwalkers in the main board to prevent them from being able to use the graveyard, Ragavan to steal their stuff and gain advantage, and Orcish Bowmaster. Now, this deck has been around for a good long time. This is a list from March 25th, and it looks almost identical. The only difference is that it doesn't have Orcish Bowmaster. That's the only difference.
It's just a testament to how hard Bowmasters is pushed. I can't believe people slept on it for the first couple days after Lord of the Rings got announced.
Right? It was insane.
Released.
I
somehow snuck by.
I got 2 of them for $20 each, so yeah.
I wish I were you. I paid $40 for my playset.
That's how badly people slept on them. They only thought it was going to be like, oh, this is going to be great for Legacy. And it is. Legacy deserves it at this point.
Oh, it's great for Legacy. It's also great for Modern. It's great for any format that can play more than 1 copy of it.
Yeah, honestly. But I don't think Bowmaster deserves to be banned at this point. Yes, it pushed the deck to new heights, but I also feel that Bowmaster shouldn't be banned purely because it's only truly great up against a deck that wants to draw a bunch of cards, or essentially that has blue in it, or the One Ring. And when you're not up against a blue deck, it's just Lazotep Reaver with Flash and Pings on ETB.
Yeah,
A 2-mana 1/1 that amasses. What was that?
If an opponent's not trying to draw cards other than the first one, it's more of a nothing burger, unless you incidentally get something. Or the Flump combo deck, which I love it to death, but it's a meme deck.
Yeah, no, like, it'll never win anything, but it's really funny.
No, like, I think well, depending on how the ban will go, it might get more legs than we're expecting.
Oh no. But yeah, I feel like all 5 Elementals should go, but knowing WotC, and they might pull a Hogak and instead ban Bridge from Below, I feel like Feign Death and Undying Malice and the other 2 could potentially be banned. I doubt it though. I hope it's at least 5 cards are banned from Modern. I expect 0.
Yeah, honestly,
my expectations are low.
Looking at the metagame, the Rakdos mid-range has just popped up so quickly.
Yeah.
I don't think that they're going to be even touching it.
They're gonna be
Like,
like,
they're probably going to say something about how the metagame is relatively healthy right now. But
we're gonna wait to see how it evolves over the course of a literal year.
Yeah.
Because they refuse to ban cards unless it's the first Monday of August. And it's like, just ban things when they become a problem.
Honestly, a monthly BNR like list and post about how they feel about how it's going, I feel would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Just that way,
you don't need to
people can
ban
see
something
their
every month, but just it shows that you're paying attention.
Yeah, instead of once a year, this thing gets the axe.
We never really talked about the One Ring.
Well,
I don't think it's ban worthy. I really don't. But
unless you're playing with it specifically in mind.
Yeah, but I am concerned by the fact that Orcish Bowmaster is clearly the most powerful card to come out thing, and every other card that's seeing play is either a common, like the 1-mana land cyclers, or reprieve that could be reprinted with a different art or context because of its name. Even Orcish Bowmasters be printed with a different art and a different context. The One Ring, named in such a way that you can't undo that, so they would have to do something on the list, and they've shown that they're not going to make in-universe versions of cards that were in a mainline set or in a commander deck, as we've seen with Warhammer and as we will see with Doctor Who. That concerns me because considering how expensive the One Ring is and how many people want to play the playset, so many stores have run out of those bundles. I don't see the One Ring getting banned. Time Reveler and Renin 6, I think they're safe.
Here's the thing. Out of the metagame, I just don't see Renin 6 actually pushing anything the way it hasn't.
It hasn't in so long.
Like, it's a powerful card. No one's denying it. Well, it's a 3-walker. It's good, but it doesn't push the same way as New Modern does.
I have Living End and Crashing Footfalls decks. The reason I have them here is because of Violent Outburst. These decks just got more affordable, just a tiny bit, because you're not running as many lands. But, Force Negation went back up? Jeez. Violent Outburst.
Can't keep a good card down.
Violent Outburst, when you cast it, you're able to cast it instant speed on your opponent's turn and get around their Force Negations and cast it instant speed. And I feel it's a bit too non-interactive.
It pretty much just stifles any attempt at it.
Because especially since you're able to make it so that you cast Violent Outburst on their turn, and then if they try to counter it, you have Force Negation because it's technically not your turn.
Yeah.
And it's a bit non-interactive, especially with how fast the deck goes now, considering that they don't even need to... They're running 15 lands now, because they're running an additional 6, what are essentially slow fetches, but those work towards the deck, so...
Yeah, like, those cycler cards, one generic to find your colored mana producers. Very good, and this deck just loves it. Like, it's good soup.
Oh yeah, no, I love the design of these cards. They're great. It's just that I feel like Violent Outburst is a bit too much for both this deck as well as Temur Rhinos.
Yeah.
Pro Tour Lord of the Rings, 8th place. I'm sorry, what is your deck? A Murktide Regent? And 2 Queast?
That is okay. That's
Queast?
Pretty quirky.
Yeah, you know what? That's quirky.
I
can't. It was like I can't think of why. Maybe they ran it because of all the Bowmasters.
That could be.
I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a great card.
It's definitely my favorite book to read.
There are plenty of 3-mana cascading spells. There are so many.
There's at least 4.
Yeah, there's enough.
Here's the thing. I don't see it getting hit.
No.
Solely because it's still technically a fringe strategy.
Yes.
Like, as much as it's on the board, yeah. But
there's so many ways to deal with it.
Yeah, it's interactable. That card specifically not. The rest of the deck, absolutely.
Yeah. I have Tron here because you wanted to talk about Karn the Great Creator and why you think it should be banned.
Hey, look at this deck list. It's basically a better version of the Pioneer one. By the way, I prefer Pioneer. I still play Modern on occasion. But hey, look, it is a better version of the Pioneer list because you have Tron lands. You know what can fix this entire problem here and make Tron suck again? Take Karn the Great Creator and put him in a dumpster. This man single-handedly just gives decks, ooh, my sideboard is actually just the other 15 cards in my deck that no one else can touch. It's absurd, and I hate it.
Yeah.
Stupid Karn, go in dumpster. Just like all Karn should go in dumpster, but this one especially.
Yeah, no, I can see that, because Karn the Great Creator is kind of like warped Tron decks to the point where, like, oh yeah, this is the second place deck by Christian Calcano from Pro Tour Lord of the Rings. This is second place decks. This is the one they played. This one is more, well refined. This is the deck that has stood the test of time.
More consistent in every way.
Yeah. And now with the One Ring, it's a bit much. So that's another reason why I don't think the One Ring will be banned, because Orcish Bowmaster can deal with it, and the sheer fact that it's boosted so many archetypes back to some prominence. Like Tron wasn't even a second thought. It wasn't even an afterthought until the One Ring came around.
The fact that it managed to fight its way back, I'll give it some respect. I'll give it even more respect when Karn the Great Creator's out. But there's no way of that, because that ability is just so. That's the only one that I think might be on the radar, but at the same time, it's not eating up over 10% of the metagame, and I think it's safe.
Yeah. Honorable mention that's not in a deck specifically, Unlicensed Hearse. I want this card banned, not just because, I play Arclight Phoenix, but because Skoos and Lion Sash and all the other graveyard hosers just, immediately pushed out of the format by this thing that can't be hit by sorcery speed creature removal, and you can't even bolt it optimally because they'll just tap it, make it a 2/2, tap it, make it a 4/4, can't even bolt it anymore. And it's not like you can unholy heat it because it's eating your graveyard. Yes, artifact removal. Objectively, artifact removal does get rid of this card, but I feel it is too good of a 2-mana graveyard-eating creature, to the point where, what was it, Tarmogoyfs are like $12 now?
Yeah,
and Skoos could never do that. Skoos could never do that.
No, this thing is just so available. Any deck can run it, colorless. It's Relic of Progenitus on wheels, but also on steroids.
I like it, wheels. I have not heard that before, but that's great. So, I don't think Ragavan deserves to be banned anymore.
No, genuinely, I think Ragavan is safe at this point.
It's fine.
We've gotten so much, I wanted to say, violent stuff out of the Lord of the Rings set that Ragavan is part of the format. It's a very strong card, but it's not going anywhere. And it's not even pushing as hard as it used to.
Yes, surprisingly. It is the 7th most played card in Modern.
It's the 7th most played, yes, but it's not pushing the same way other cards are pushing.
Yeah.
And those other cards are not getting hit.
Nope. What do you think could be unbanned?
Honestly, I don't think there's going to be any unbans.
So, no, hear me out.
Maybe one of the artifact lands just as a joke, but...
Okay, that'd be funny. But, hear me out.
I'm listening.
Look at these. The only thing that resembles a graveyard deck is Living End. I guess Murktide Regent?
Murktide, technically, it cares about having a graveyard.
Yeah, but it doesn't use the graveyard. So that's why I think now is the perfect time to unban Faithless Looting.
Alright, this is just some self-flagellation shenanigans here.
No, hear me out. Okay.
Let's look at a proper unban, okay?
Golgari Grave
Bring
Troll.
Uro out the box.
No! No, think about it. What's the problem in Modern right now? There's a problem artifact and a bunch of problem creatures. There's only one card that can take them all out.
Oh no, Cohen, don't go back from the top!
Oh god.
Oh, yeah. Look at that sexy little twink.
Covering multiple formats tomorrow. So, quick overview of Standard. Ban Shieldred the Apocalypse, please. That is all.
Honestly,
that's all.
That'd be my only one. And
that is the only card that's a problem. Look at it. Runs it in here. Face card, suboptimal because no Shieldred. What do you think needs to get banned out of Pioneer?
Oh, baby, you come into my house to ask me about my breads and my butters?
Do you want to start with Rakdos Sacrifice or Nykthos Ramp?
We'll start with the part where I'm the problem.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I'm hiding that too.
Wait a minute. Man, this Mono White Humans deck is interesting. Mayhem Devil, Kroxa, Blood Tithe Harvester. This isn't Mono White Humans, is it?
The color white is so good these days.
Yeah, the Mono White is so good these days.
Mono White is just so
Oh, look
powerful.
at this human. Look at this Mono White human right here.
Dude.
Oh, wait, no. We have a human citizen. We have a human. The vampire was probably a human at one point. And Kroxa, dad bod energy right there.
That's the best human. That's basically Audric.
Oh my god. Why is this Mono White human? Okay, Rakdos Sac. Go for it.
On Rakdos Sacrifice, it's a very solid strategy. But here's the thing. It can totally be... some of the dominoes in it are very easy to deal with. Like, currently, the main line deck is still Cauldron Familiar and Witch's Oven. Honestly, if they were to hit either Cauldron Familiar or Witch's Oven, the deck would find a way to survive, but it would not be as strong. And even in my version, I already cut it because I actually expected this thing to get banned a long time ago. But the real thing that I think will get hit is going to be Fable of the Mirror Break, because it is not only in the sack list, it is also in the mid-range. It is the one thing the two decks have it in common, is a full playset of Fable of the Mirror Break. It is such a powerful card, and honestly, it fits into a ton of other decks too. I just don't see a reason why it can't get banned, because it's everywhere. It's everywhere, and it pushes hard. Like, I love the card. The card's fantastic. I love it.
But these are completely different lists. Huh.
Yeah, it is the problem.
Okay. I do like how they're the exact same color, share a bunch of cards, but they are completely different lists. I do appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's why I like formats that don't have Horizon sets, so only Pioneer.
I mean, I love Pioneer.
Pioneer's great. Pioneer's
favorite
great.
form. It's healthy right now to an extent. Big caveat here. Sacrifice is a little bit of a part of the problem, but it's also kind of easy to deal. You just graveyard hate. That's all it is.
Wait, what's Rakdos Sacrifice? We're talking about mono white humans. We're talking about mono white humans.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Mono white humans hates.
Yeah, mono white humans with their Cauldron Familiars and their Croxas and their Deadly Disputes. Oh, and their Fable of the Mirror Breaker at 4. Why is mono white humans running this red card?
Yeah. But we want to talk about my mortal enemy next.
Mono green devotion.
I hate this. I hate this. You know how I talk about the Karn list? My answer stays the same. Kill Karn. Like, it's a Karn board. It's still a Karn board, and it's been a Karn board for ages.
Yeah, it's 15 one-ofs. You know what? It is 15 one-ofs. Why is Pestilence Cauldron here? Oh, you flip it to a green spell,
it's part of the combo. So here's the thing.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, that's literally why. Here's the thing. Karn is the deck. Karn literally is the deck. You ramp into Karn, and then you abuse Karn's ability. At least that's how it's always been done to me, with an aggro piece on the side. Now, if you get rid of Karn, turn the Karn board into an actual sideboard, it would force the deck to go into a more aggro direction than it already is. It's a strong strategy. It's a strong aggro strategy. But Karn makes the deck almost too untouchable, I want to say, because it just grabs everything.
It's too adaptable.
Exactly. It's too adaptable for a deck that is essentially playing its sideboard in the main deck in an untouchable way. It's my same problem with Tron in Modern.
It's like having 15 companions.
Yeah, but with the old companion cost. Some people can argue for Nykthos. I'll say this. If they nick Nykthos at the bud here, it just kills all opportunity for any devotion deck to pop up in the future.
Yes.
And I think that is not a healthy standpoint.
Wait, comrade. Are you saying that this deck has a bunch of problem creatures and a bunch of artifacts? There's only one Planeswalker banned in Pioneer to deal with artifacts and creatures.
Oh my god, it's the man, the myth, the legend.
Legacy. I feel Legacy is fine at the moment. Bowmaster is tearing up the format. And unlike Modern, where it's kind of only good against certain decks, it's good against every deck here because almost every deck tries to run Brainstorm and Ponder. Considering how long they've been played, Legacy kind of deserves to be Bowmastered at this point.
I mean, to be fair,
Delver has been the top deck for years.
Yeah, Delver's Delver.
Yeah, Delver is Delver.
I think I'm apt to agree. I'm not the biggest Legacy buff. I mean, I'm happy to see Reanimated Soul. It's the only Legacy deck that I know of that I enjoy looking at.
Yeah.
But at this point, I think there's nothing worth touching as far as bans.
Fortunately, Is It Delver didn't get anything from Lord of the Rings. Grixis Delver, on the other hand, did.
Yeah.
Come on, Delver, just go away!
As far as unbanned,
Wait a minute, comrade.
Don't you say it. Don't you dare say it.
It's a bunch of problem creatures and, let me find an artifact. And an artifact that is tearing up Legacy. There's only one card that could deal with it.
You're making bad decisions there,
More
bud.
formats should be like Commander, so we should unban Sol Ring.
You get the hell out. You, no. No. We're not talking about EDH.
I'll put the meme right here. It's one of my favorite memes. Like, it's a bunch of different races. like Standard, Pioneer, Modern, Legacy, and Commander multiplayer is just Mario Kart.
Literally, like,
For the memes. For the memes. I want to see someone play Falling Star on Magic Online.
on to the second best format of all time because Pioneer was already first.
Do you think anything needs to be banned in Pauper?
Ultimately, the burn deck is the one that I would want to look at because it is eating up the meta right now.
Really? Burn?
The issue that I see is the fact that we're running 8 copies of the same. I know it says 4 and 4.
Yeah, no,
It's
they
the
have
same
the
card.
exact same text.
Yeah, the exact same text, exact same cost, and I feel like it just gives them a little too much advantage because you're constantly able to pump out those extra cards. As far as what can return, though, hey, this is my really big one here. Can I get a Tog back?
Atog? Really? You think Atog could come back?
I know it shouldn't, but I wanted it back so bad.
Of course.
It's my son! He's my son, my little boy!
I said we talked about everything.
I think that covers it. I think we came to a consensus that Oko should be unbanned in every format.
Yeah, no, Oko should be unbanned. Allowed to be played as 8 copies.
Going Broco for Oko.
Hell
Bring him back,
yeah.
boys.